So you've set up your business, you're ready to go, but you don't know which bank account to get. While retail banking is free of charge, many business accounts actually charge a monthly fee. And on top of that, they might even charge for transactions as well. Luckily for you, I found the best bank accounts in the UK right now, especially for startups. So the way I'm going to look at this is firstly look at actually what they offer as a bank, see what fees they offer, but then I also want to look at the app, because the app is actually, in this day and age, one of the biggest things which a bank can offer. And surprisingly, you won't be impressed with what you'll find. So the first bank is Santander, and that is the business current account. So this is the basic account which Santander offer, which is free everyday banking for 18 months, which then reverts back to £7.50 after that 18 months. There's no transaction fees on certain transactions, but other than that, it's very basic. There's no perks. You can have 2 directors, and actually this is really good for businesses who plan on having a fair few transactions. So let's look at their business banking app, and this app has got 2.5 stars on the Play Store, which is the Android app ecosystem, and as you can see, it's a very basic app. I mean, I can't say anything more than that. It's not really user friendly. I've got this myself. I don't really like it. It's not like Monzo. It's not very user friendly. It does what it needs to do, which tells you your balance and what transactions it went through. But really, you're not getting this bank account for the app. It's okay, but it's just not where it should be right now. So our next bank account is HSBC, and it's a lot like Santander because they give you 18 months free. Then after that, you get charged £5.50. But they caveat this by saying that if you deposit over 3,000 cash per month, then you'll be charged for 50p for every £100 you deposit in your bank account, which isn't that bad. But it's bearing in mind, if you're a cash heavy business, you need to probably stay away from this one. Maybe stick with Santander at this point. So our next bank is actually a challenger bank, and that's Tide. So Tide actually have released a product which is focused on just the business community, and they're kind of like Monzo, where they've got a really slick app, but they don't have an annual fee or a monthly fee. So really, they're just charging for transactions. So you've got transfers between your account, ATM cash withdrawals, and then cash deposits. So you really need to think that if you've got a lot of cash deposits, you might not want to use Tide. But if Tide is a bank where you're just paying small amounts and it's quite a small business, then this could be brilliant for you. This compares really well against the rest of the banking sector in terms of fees. I think the best thing about this is probably going to be the app as well. So let's take a look at the Tide business banking app, and as I mentioned before, this is the best reviewed app so far, with 3.7 out of 5 on the Play Store. Doesn't seem that high, but actually I think a lot of the reviews are down to the application process of Tide itself. But this looks great so far compared to the others, especially because the app is a lot like Monzo. It's very clear, very clean. And if you're kind of wanting to use your app on a daily basis, I would definitely recommend Tide. The only thing you need to watch out on is the cash deposits. So next up is the TSB bank, and this one again has 18 months free day-to-day banking, but after that the fees become pretty steep. They start at £5 for very few transactions, and they go all the way up to £40 for quite significant transactions. So really, this is a good account for the first 18 months, but then after that you probably want to consider moving. And then the next kind of deal breaker for this is their app, which really is something else. So the TSB business mobile app on the Google Play Store is reviewed at 1 and a little bit stars. Now this really does win awards for the worst app, and that's saying something in the business accounts world. I mean, there's just loads of 1 stars. They just can't even do the basic things a lot of the time. I would say stay away from this app. Stay away potentially from this bank, just because after the 18 months it's quite penal anyway, and their app's just rubbish. So we've got Natwest now, and again we've got 18 months free unlimited transaction banking, but again this reverts to a standard tariff which is based on transactions, and actually these charges are quite high, and when you compare it with a bank like Santander, which actually include that in their monthly fee of £7.50, you know, it doesn't really compare. The one thing with this does have is an amazing app, and it's actually won awards. So here we have the Natwest mobile banking app, and this is by far the best app available for business bank accounts. It might help that they've got one app for business and retail customers, but this has got 4.5 stars on the Google Play Store, and it's won a banking awards in 2017 and 2018 and maybe in 2019. This is a better app than Tide, whose reviews were 3.7. So really, if you want a good app and you're going to be using your app a lot, then I would really suggest the Natwest account. After the first year you might have to reconsider based on the fees, but the banking app is really strong. So what is the best business bank account then? So I would say if you were to choose a bank account, it would be Santander. Not really based on their app, but based on their 18 months free, but also after that is a flat charge, and then they don't charge you for transactions. All the other banks do charge you for transactions, so I'd say if you really just want to know the price, go with Santander. If you want a really good app, I'd stick with Natwest, because Natwest really do have the best app. Tide sits somewhere in between the two. It's kind of, there's no annual fee, but they do charge based on transaction, and their app's good, but not as good as Natwest's. So yeah, it's still your own choice. Have a look, read the terms, and make sure that this is the right bank for you. So my final thought though is, do you even need a business account? So I would recommend using your kind of personal account for as long as possible. It'll be cheaper, and the only thing which will stop you doing that is if you start having loads of transactions going through the account, where it really becomes difficult for you to determine what's for the business and what's for your personal life. So really just hold on to that personal account, and when really you're making a lot of transactions a month, move over to the business account and really think about which one you need. If you want to recap on what the best business bank account is, you can visit our website yourcloudaccountant.net, where we've got an article on what's the best bank account for small businesses. But also, if you need any advice, please come to our website, give us a call, and we'll be glad to help you out.